What's up, guys? Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and today I am joined by Kalyn.
Hi.
Absolutely. So she is one of our social media managers here, does a great job for us posting content for you guys to see, but she actually had a really good idea and wanted to ask me a series of questions about the new Bronco. So we're actually... well, I'm going to save that for the content, but this is going to be a newer form of content, more like a long form, I guess, interview, where she's actually got a series of questions that she has not shared with me yet, and she's going to hit me with those questions while we're doing this video. So hopefully you guys like this different kind of a content. We're just kind of experimenting. If you do like this style, make sure that you give us a big thumbs up on the video itself. That helps us understand what you guys want to see in the future. So we'd greatly appreciate that. Time out. Before we go any further in the video, I need to let you know about something. Town & Country Ford is giving away a brand new 2021 Ford Bronco Sport, but it's not just any old Bronco Sport. We're going to completely trick this thing out before we give it to you. So it's very important that you hit up those links down in the description and go to register for free on alabamaford.com/giveaway. Or if you want to, anything you buy on tccustoms.com will give you automatic extra entries into this giveaway. So what are you waiting for? Check out alabamaford.com or tccustoms.com for multiple ways to enter this giveaway. All right, enough about that. Let's get back into the video. With that being said, sit back, enjoy the long form content, and go ahead and just fire off some questions.
Yeah, so a lot of these questions are questions that you guys have actually asked. So that's exciting. So hopefully we'll be answering a lot of your questions.
Okay.
The big thing that people are wondering is, how is the actual reservation process going? Like, how has it been smooth? Have people made any comments on it? All that good stuff.
That's a great question. So as far as the reservation process was concerned, the website from Ford.com, when it went live back in July, was a disaster. It was a cluster. If anybody knows, they were trying to get the reservation in, and the website just kept crashing. So in that regard, I would say that the reservation itself was disastrous. I will tell you, though, that Ford has done a fantastic job of communicating to their customers about the issues of the coronavirus that's come up and delayed the vehicle, I think, a month or two.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that the conversion process, I'm assuming is what you're asking, is how is the conversion process from the reservation into the orders gone?
Yeah.
It's gone relatively well. Okay. I've lost a lot of sleep. and I don't feel like I hadn't seen my wife and my kids in about 2 weeks, but you know, nonetheless, it's been a fun process. It's been exciting, and it's been one of the better blessings I've had in quite some time, because I understand that every single one of those orders is somebody that is excited to see their brand new Bronco.
Yeah.
So I realize it's just not just a number. It's not, even though we've got a ton of them, it has been relatively smooth. The launch process of converting them on the dealership side has been fantastic. Yeah. We've been doing a series where basically what we'll do is the salesperson gets the and if I'm answering a question that you haven't had a chance to ask yet, just stop me. But what happens is the customer is sending the build-in price from Ford.com to our salesperson. Okay. The salesperson turns it into me or Kyle, who's my business partner, and then from there, me and him are converting those reservations into physical orders. And then what we do is, when we have that order submitted in Ford's system, we have the customer DocuSign electronically to state off that basically, yes, we didn't miss an option, we didn't screw something up, we didn't click an option that wasn't supposed to be selected. Yeah. And then once that customer confirms that color and equipment is right, then we submit the order.
Gotcha.
So, okay, great question.
What would you say is the most popular trim that people are choosing?
Ooh. So I've got my opinions on that, but I also have got some data pulled up, because I had a feeling you were going to ask me some questions about popular build and price. So I don't know if you guys can see my computer screen, but this is actually Ford's ordering system. This is what we're actually going in and processing it, but I've exported a lot of this data. And your question was what trim level was?
Yeah, what's the most popular trim level?
So if I had to guess, and I'm going to pull this up, but if I had to guess, I would say that Wild Track and the Badlands are going to be the two most popular trim levels. But like I said, I can actually go through and verify that for you guys, because I've got all of the Excel spreadsheet data. So Okay, so it looks like right off the bat, yeah, so 350 or 354A equipment group. So basically what that is the Lux version, so the highest version of the Wild Track that you can get.
Gotcha.
And that is our most popular. So I guess that even answers a question you didn't ask, is what's the most popular equipment group, and that's what it is a 354A. So if you didn't know, kind of like on an F-150, you have an XLT is a 300, 301, 302.
Yeah.
The Lariat's 500, 501, 502. You have different equipment groups inside of a particular trim level. And I'm telling you guys this, I know she already knows this, but I'm saying it for you guys. But every Bronco, so the Wild Track has a 354, a 353, and a 352, I believe. The Badlands has, and don't roast me for, but I think it's I think it's 333, 334, and a 331, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So the 33 something is a Badlands, 35 something is a Wild Track.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of talking to say that the Wild Track is the most popular right now. But as I mentioned that to you, it looks like number 2 is going to be the actual the Badlands for our dealership specifically.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Great question.
Yeah. So I know that they've talked about you can like remove doors. You know, the hard roof you can remove. Is that available in both the 2 and the 4-door? And which is more popular, the 2 or the 4-door? Like, what are people most excited about?
Another great question. So I'll pull the data up as I'm kind of talking. But so can you pull the doors off on the 2 and the 4-door? Yes. So the roof and the doors come off of all of our Broncos.
Okay.
All of them. Period. End of paragraph. The difference is on the 4-door, you can store the doors in the cargo area of the vehicle.
Oh, that's nice.
But on the 2-door, you can't.
Yeah.
So there's just not enough room for the cargo management system to be able to house the doors back there. But yes, on the 4-door you can store them. On the 2-door you can store them in your garage.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So that's kind of the answer to that. But no, I will tell you that I think it's kind of obvious, but maybe it's not to everybody. But the 2-door is not as popular as the 4-door.
Yeah.
I've got my opinions on what I think looks better.
Yeah.
Like I actually think that the 2-door looks a little better than the 4-door.
I agree.
But I also think I've got 3 kids that don't need to be, they need their own door.
Yeah.
And so for a practicality standpoint, I've ordered a 4-door for myself.
Yeah.
So, but to get back into the data on exactly which one it is, so by the way, we've had 194 confirmed orders so far. So that's and we've got a long way to go. Although we can't really get into how many allocations we have and how many reservations we have. If you are interested in converting your reservation to our dealership and you already have an allocation with the other dealer and you're not pleased with their level of communication, I do want to let you know you can call us and have that reservation transferred over to us. And from what Ford is telling us is that your allocation will transfer into our dealership as well. So that way if you're just not happy with the dealership you're working with and you've got an allocation, you've got an early build, feel free to transfer it to us. The phone number is right there on the screen, but it's 205-491-0000 if you want to transfer your reservation to us. But kind of got off on a tangent again. Can y'all tell I'm all over the place? So our long wheel bases, out of 194 that we've already ordered, 137 of those are the long wheel base, which means the 4-door, because there's only 2 wheel bases on the Bronco. But 137 of them are the 4-door, and 57 are the 4-door. So I'm not sure what those percentages are. So Josh, our editor, if he's watching this video, can you do that calculation on the screen for us? I'd appreciate it. But yeah, 57 to 137 for a total of 194.
Gotcha. And so another thing people are curious about are when are you required to actually pay for the vehicle, and will there be any rebates available?
Ooh. Okay, so great question. So the way that we are doing our Bronco reservation and conversion, every dealership's doing it differently. There's nothing from Ford that dictates how they do this, but Ford got a $100 deposit from the customer when they placed a reservation back in July or whenever they placed a reservation. Our dealership is not asking you to put an incremental deposit down. So your $100 is enough to convert that reservation into the order. Now, when you convert it, it does turn it into a non-refundable $100, but you've already got the money. You don't have to fork out what some dealerships are asking for, an incremental $2,000 to actually build out the Bronco.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got their reasons, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of forgot the second part of that question.
And will there be any rebates
The
available?
rebates, thank you.
Yeah.
So Ford has told us not to expect any rebates for the Bronco.
Yeah.
The fact they have 190,000 plus reservations and they're pre-sold for 2, maybe even 3 years, just based on a supply-demand issue, I doubt they will have any rebates.
Yeah.
But we are offering no dealer markups on any of our Broncos, so that's good. Whereas a lot of dealerships are saying, "Oh, thank you for placing your reservation with me, but we're still going to charge you $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 over a sticker."
Right.
That's not what we're doing at all.
Yeah.
We are honoring absolutely no dealer markups on any Bronco reservations that are placed with us or transferred into us. Now, I've heard of a lot of dealerships that are going in and they're, offering $1,000 back of invoice, $1,000 back of invoice, and the problem is that, yeah, that might be the case, but there's so many Bronco reservations at those particular dealerships. There's no way that they'll be able to get to any of those in a reasonable time frame. And so, yeah, you might have saved $1,000 or $2,000, but at the expense of how long is it going to take you to get your truck?
Yeah.
There's no telling.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Another thing people are wondering is like, how does it compare to like Ford's other SUVs, like the Escape? And what's the like ideal customer for the Bronco compared to these SUVs?
Okay, so I'll answer the first part first, but I want to preface this with saying this. I've seen the Bronco in person. I've gotten in it, touched it, felt it, smelt it, but I've never driven one. So back when they had the Bronco Celebration East in Tennessee, I was able to sweet talk the people at the event to allow me to actually get in the back of the two-door and get all in and around it when it was roped off to the rest of the public. So now keep in mind that was a pre-production prototype vehicle, so there was a lot of things that were not going to be exactly final by the time they come into production. But I can tell you that when everybody hears that it was built on the same architecture as the Ranger chassis, it doesn't feel like a Ranger at all. It definitely feels like something that is completely different and unique compared to everything else on the market. Really, the only thing to really compare it to, size-wise or feeling-wise, is a Jeep Wrangler. And that's one of the reasons that Ford has even had come out and admitted it, that the customer base is highly conquest, meaning that all of those customers are new to Ford. A lot of those customers are new to Ford. A lot of those customers are diehard Fords and have been waiting on a Bronco since since the last time there was one in the showroom back in '96. But a lot of those customers are coming from Jeep, and a lot of those customers are coming from FJ Cruisers, and a lot of those, that's kind of the direct competitors. And then also the 4Runners, the off-roady type SUVs. It doesn't really compare to anything in the Ford lineup. It more or less compares to the Jeep lineup because it truly is doors off, roof off. I cannot tell you how much different it is from a Ranger. After seeing it in person and then also seeing at that same event, I was able to see the Bronco with the body off of the frame, so you can see the actual frame and the guts and the suspension, and you can tell the suspension's different, the axles are different, the front gearing is it's totally different. It's not even the same. So when you're comparing the Bronco to another vehicle, there's not a whole lot of comparisons. Now, if you want to talk about Bronco Sport, and that's not what this video is about, this video is about the 2- and the 4-door Bronco, but the Bronco Sport is very similar to the Escape. It is much more capable than the Escape, but you can actually see you can see the relation. Like a distant cousin, but you can still tell that they're cousins. On the 2- and 4-door, it doesn't look anything like a Ranger. It doesn't feel like a Ranger. It feels completely different. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So you talked about how it's different than anything Ford has ever done. Well, what makes it stand out from the Wrangler or another off-road vehicle?
Everybody has their own opinions, and you know what opinions like. They're like armpits, and everybody's got one they all smell. But I've got my opinion. In my opinion, I really like the sway bar disconnect. So Jeep has got the sway bar disconnect, and I've not had a chance to use it, but from what I'm told is if you're off-roading and you're like kind of stuck in a situation, you can't engage or disengage disengage that front sway bar disconnect.
Yeah.
But in the Bronco, it can be completely flexed out. It being an issue, you can hit the button and the vehicle will actually drop further to help you for off-roading. So I really like the technology that Ford has incorporated in the vehicle. I also like the fact that it is independent front suspension, so that way, because really my Bronco that I've ordered for myself is going to be a daily driver. So there's nothing wrong with a solid front axle, but there's no doubt that an independent front suspension system will handle better on the interstate. It will handle better as a daily commuter, but based on the suspension and Ford, the everything kind of what we talked about already, allows it to be completely capable on the trails. So I feel like it's better for the technology side. I feel like Jeep has kind of they've not really gotten better over the years. I feel like Jeep has had a fantastic vehicle in the Wrangler. That's why they sell so many of them. I feel like it's why they hold so much value. But I also feel like since they haven't had any competition, they've not improved themselves.
Right.
And I feel like this competition that the Bronco brings will actually make the Jeep better in the future iterations. But when they do that, it's going to make the next round of Broncos even better.
Right.
And so when there's competition in the marketplace, everybody wins, kind of a thing. That's the kind of the way that I look at it. But why I feel like the Bronco is better, I like the styling better. It reminds me of the old school Bronco, but yet you can clearly tell it is retro, but also modern at the same time.
Right.
If that makes any sense. They found the perfect blend. Ford had a really good chance to screw up the design and they didn't. So thankfully they didn't.
Yeah, it seems like they also have like a good blend of it being like, a toy for people that want to go off-roading, but also you can throw your kids in the back and feel completely safe. And,
that's right.
And they have all the things that they need and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I got plenty of power points in that thing. You can power the iPads or what have you in the back, the front.
Yeah, exactly.
All that kind of stuff.
But speaking of it being kind of like it could be a family vehicle if you wanted to. What are some of the like safety features that are in there?
Safety features. I don't know specifically safety features, but I can tell you some of the safety features that Ford has on a lot of their other vehicles that I suspect will make its way into this new Bronco.
Right.
So for instance, you've got one thing that's called curve control. So like it was debuted originally on the Ford Explorer, and the idea there's these yaw sensors and all these motion sensors inside the vehicle that if you're on the interstate and you're getting off the off-ramp going too fast, the vehicle can tell based on your steering input, your speed, and those yaw sensors, this dude's about to flip, or he's about to run off the road, and it can actually apply the brake in a certain situation to keep you from wrecking.
That's nice.
I would be shocked if Ford does not implement that into the new Bronco, because they started out on the Explorer, but they've kind of made its way into everything. I'll never forget my business partner Kyle. Me and him went to Las Vegas for a Ford event, and this was back when the Ranger first came out.
Gotcha.
And that's the other reason I think this technology will make it is because it's the same architecture, right? Whatever. But the Ranger had just came out and they were like, hey, let's test drive this thing. And they put us in this big empty parking lot with no poles. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Let me see if I can scare him.
Of course.
Absolutely. In fact, we've actually got a YouTube video on it, but we legit thought the Ranger was going to flip itself because I was trying to push it to the limits, and then all of a sudden the Ranger, it slammed on the brakes for me because it knew I was about to flip it. So that's one of the safety technology features. Let's see here. The fact that you've got an independent front suspension, you're seriously less prone to death wobble. In the front tires, shaking. That's kind of one of the big downsides or potential downsides of a solid front axle. So I'm kind of pumped up about that. They call it a sport bar across the front. They can't call it a roll bar. For legal purposes, but from what I understand, it is supposed to be load capable, meaning that it's supposed to help you out in case of
flipping.
Yeah. I didn't say that, but everybody knows what this is, right?
I know another thing, isn't the gear shift, it's like one of the rotating, or is that only in the Sport? I know a lot of people, at least on like YouTube comments, have been concerned because that's a little bit different than any other vehicle. So how like easy or hard is that to get used to?
So fun fact about that, so that rotary dial, in my opinion, needs to be in every Ford vehicle from here going forward. And I'll link up a video that'll be down in the description. My wife drove her 2018, 17. She drove her previous Explorer off a cliff with my kids in the car. She was busy. She was getting out to drop something off at a neighbor's house, and she didn't realize that the car was still in drive, and the car drove itself. Thank God my kids are okay. My wife tried to chase the vehicle down the cliff. That didn't go so well. And so check out that little explanation video. But that rotary dial would have completely fixed that. It has a safety feature built in to where if you try and get out of the vehicle with it still in drive, it'll automatically put it in park.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they forget to just shift it, so.
Yeah, and you can see it's all over internet videos, all over everywhere, you know, people forgetting to put their vehicle in park. I don't know, since the doors come off of the Bronco, I don't know how that will incorporate into the rotary dial, because once again, we haven't had a chance to drive it yet. But realistically, it's pretty easy to get used to. You know, my Raptor has got the center console shifter here, and my wife's new Explorer, since she wrecked the last one, has got the rotary dial, you know, located right there. And I tell you, I don't have any issue of getting in, like I don't accidentally reach for this one when I need to be twisting the dial here. If that makes any sense.
I think it's just an adjustment, but I think, you know, once you use it a few times, you get used to it.
It's no different than, hey, I came from the Jeep, where's the windshield wipers? You know, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of a learning curve to it, but it's really not as bad as most people think it is, if that's the concern. But there is some nice technology and safety features built into that I should have mentioned on the last question.
Hey, that's why I ask all these questions. We circle back around.
Absolutely.
So another thing people were asking is, you know, if someone pre-orders the Bronco or reserves it or whatever, and they want accessories that they didn't reserve later, can dealers order that after the initial delivery?
That is a fantastic question, and one of the biggest hurdles with the ordering process right now. So if you go to Ford.com, build and price, and then that Ford on the build and price gives you all these accessories, and they're awesome accessories. You can add a winch, you can add this, you can add this. I mean, there's a slew of accessories you can add. The only problem is when I go to place that order, I physically cannot order those accessories on Ford's web-based dealer ordering system. We call it WebDo for short. It's not even in there. So as best as I can tell, those customers that want those accessories, when they are converting their build with us, it happens every time. Well, you forgot my accessories. You know, actually, no, we didn't forget the accessories. Ford doesn't allow it. What'll happen is we convert the order right now and convert the reservation into an order, smash the order in, and then sometime in May, Ford will give us an idea of roughly when their Bronco will be built. And if they are in that first round of scheduling, then we have the ability to go ahead and start talking about the process of ordering the parts from our parts department. And so TC Customs, as you guys can tell directly above me, that is our custom division. Shameless plug, but they not only do Fords and Broncos, but they also do all makes and all models. So it doesn't matter if it's a Ram, if it's a Jeep Wrangler, or what have you. We've got a very experienced team that can help you with any kind of modifications, custom work. It doesn't matter what it is, we can help you on all makes and all models. So, but I say all of that to say this, that yes, we can help you with any lift kits that are available at launch time. We can help you with any leveling kits that are available at launch time. We've got over 24,000 different styles of wheels, so hopefully we've got something that you can find that the customer might like. But all of that can be ordered, and as long as it's available, sent here prior to the Bronco being here. Then we can roll all of the cost of those accessories into the financing of the vehicle for the customer. So that way, if the customer wants a lift kit, wheels, and tires, and wants a whole bunch of other stuff, let's just say they want $10,000 worth of custom work done to the vehicle, they don't have to fork out $10,000 in cash. They can put it all into their payment and then pay that payment Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it
that's
helps the
nice.
cash flow for a lot of customers. Now you can also pay cash for it if you want to, but
Yeah.
not everybody's got that ability.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons we love having TC Customs associated with Town and Country, is because we can roll that cost into the financing of the vehicle. And in addition to that, we also have the ability to make sure that it's not going to void any warranty.
Yeah.
So we do offer some crazy modifications that might void your warranty, but we will tell the customer before we install it, hey, this will or will not void the warranty.
Right.
But like all of the BDS lift kits that we offer, I was talking to my BDS rep the other day, and he's really pumped up about the ability to make lift kits for the new Bronco.
Yeah.
But all the BDS stuff, all the ReadyLift, most of the ReadyLift stuff, all of that stuff comes with full warranty.
Yeah.
So if you have an issue with the vehicle, and for some reason the Ford dealership isn't wanting to warranty whatever the issue is because it's lifted, well, ReadyLift or BDS will actually step in and take care of what that Ford dealership is denying.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So I know that wasn't part of your question, but I felt like it was needed to be talked about.
A lot of people were asking if they were going to be able to lift it. So they are expecting to be able to lift the Broncos.
Yeah. So I was actually on Instagram this morning, and apparently ProComp, which is a lift kit manufacturer, that we have the ability to sell. So if anybody wants one, feel free to reach out to us. But ProComp had a picture of a two-door Bronco already lifted on 37s.
Oh, wow.
And if I can find that video, or if Josh can find the video, we'll post that right there on the screen for you guys to look at. If not, follow me on Instagram, and I'll repost it there.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, no, it's definitely shameless.
So funny. Another thing is people are asking, like, what are the towing capabilities of the Bronco?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I do know, I think it's 3,500 pounds, but I want to leave myself a room to get out of it in case I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But the Bronco has the ability to tow, I think, up to 3,500 pounds if it is equipped with a towing capability.
Okay.
So is it a towing beast? Absolutely not. But it's perfect for if you wanted to tow like an overlanding trailer behind you, meaning that you wanted to put your rooftop tent on a trailer and put some gear inside that. You just need a little bit more space than what the interior of the Bronco offers.
Yeah.
It might be perfect for that. Towing a jet ski might be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Is it going to be towing your boat?
Yeah.
More than likely not, unless it's one of those little Rin Tin Tin boats.
Yeah.
But
Which I don't think that's what people are buying it for, in my opinion. Anyways, is towing boats.
Yeah.
I think it's for the get up and go and.
That's right. This is the
person.
vehicle you want to leave at the lake, and then when you get to the lake, you get to hop in and drive it around wherever you want to, or go to the leave it at the beach house, or you just want to be able to drive to and from work with your doors off.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be using it for. That and off-roading on the weekends.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be to tow. That's the reason I got to convince my wife to allow me to keep my Raptor and the Bronco.
Yeah.
Got some work to do, so if you got any tips, leave those in the comments down below.
Pray for his wife.
Yeah, I know it, right?
So is there going to be a plan for there to be like a manual option?
Yes. Okay. So that's a great question. For a lot of you guys that are watching this video, you probably already know this, but if you don't, the Bronco is offered in two available powertrains. So you have a 2.3 4-cylinder EcoBoost, and you have a 2.7 V6 EcoBoost. By the way, EcoBoost, if you didn't know, is a combination of direct fuel injection and turbochargers. Basically, it gives you the power of a V8. But in the displacement and fuel efficiency of a V6 for the 2.7, and then it's on the 2.3 it's like the power of a V6 with the horsepower with the displacement of the 4-cylinder. Basically, you get more power than you normally would because of direct injection and turbocharging. All right, so those are your engine options. The transmission options on the 2.3, you can get a 7-speed manual. Technically, it's a 6-speed with a crawler gear. And then you have the option for a 10-speed. So on the 2.3, the smaller 4-cylinder, you can get a manual or an automatic.
Okay.
In the 2.7, you could only get the automatic.
Okay.
And so if manual transmission is important to you, the only way that you're going to get that is in the 2.3.
Okay.
And I don't see that changing probably ever.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because our split of manual to automatic is significantly leaned towards the automatic. I love the manual transmission. In fact, I thought about ordering one for myself because that means my wife couldn't drive the vehicle.
There you
I
go.
don't want her running that Bronco off the cliff too.
No, that'll be your baby.
But no, realistically though, I do need her to be able to drive the vehicle in some situations. So I'm stuck with the automatic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are in that same situation. It's, what's the running joke? They say that millennial theft deterrent is in manual transmission.
Yeah.
It's
very true.
Yeah.
I can't drive manual.
Oh, don't admit that. She's just joking.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So everyone wants to know more about the GOAT feature and the
greatest of all time.
Yes. Everyone wants to know what exactly does that even mean.
So it does not mean greatest of all time, although that is the running joke with Ford. The real definition is that it goes over any type of terrain. Oh. That is what it stands for. But basically it is drive modes that they've fancily called GOAT modes. But it's a drive mode. So like if you put it into a certain drive mode, depending on, by the way, I'm going to go back to the last question for a second.
Yeah.
I left something off. But you've got this engine, you've got these many different transmissions, you've also got different transfer case options. So Ford has made it confusing for the customer, for the dealers to order. But you have a part-time selectable transfer case and you have an advanced transfer case that can select it for you. Assuming you get that advanced type of a transfer case, let's say you put it in rock crawl mode. Well, all you have to do is turn that dial, put it in rock crawl mode, and then the truck will automatically put it in 4-low. It'll change this, it'll change that, it'll change the how the vehicle reacts. It changes everything about the vehicle for that particular application. Okay. If you are wanting to go high-speed off-roading, then you put it into Baja mode or whatever they're calling it on the Bronco. I'm not sure, but it automatically might change it to 4A, meaning 4 all-wheel drive, or it might put it in 4 high. But every particular GOAT mode is a drive mode that tunes everything for the vehicle automatically and instantly. Okay. It makes it idiot-proof to go off-roading.
Yeah. Hey, user-friendly.
Yeah. that's what it boils down to. Yeah. So that's what the GOAT mode is to make it seamless and easy for off-roaders to get started.
Yeah, that's awesome. So would you say it's like a good beginner vehicle for people who were wanting to start getting into that kind of? Absolutely.
And the reason I say that is because I believe the Bronco starts at under $30,000. So you talk about a great price point, standard 4-wheel drive, depending on the vehicle and the trim and the options and transfer cases you select. You've got the GOAT modes that'll help you understand, okay, so if I'm doing this, I put it in this mode, so I'm doing this, I put it in this mode, it does this to the vehicle. Right. It's a great vehicle to start on for the price point. Yeah. Now keep in mind, they start at under $30,000, but they also go up to 60 something. Yeah. So it all depends on which one you pick out.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I like. I mean, because not everybody can afford the $60,000 one. Yeah. Not everybody wants the $30,000 one. Yep. So a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that might be all the questions.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't sweat that much. I
did, but that's just because I'm out of shape. Has nothing to do with the Bronco or the questions. So, okay, well, there you guys go. Hopefully it answers some of the questions that you guys have. And as Kalyn mentioned earlier in the video, we got a lot of these questions from our YouTube video comments. Yeah, is that right?
That is correct.
So, shameless plug, hit those comments down below so that way if you like this type of a thing, we can maybe go through and do another series of questions, and hopefully this kind of content is something that you actually might like to see in the future. Once again, if it is, make sure to smash that thumbs up button so that way we know and can start producing more of this type of content, because quite frankly, I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I got to sit down and just kind of chill out and and talk about Broncos, because that's really what I love at the end of the day. So if you're new here, make sure you consider subscribing. Our channel is based around a Ford dealership. Obviously, you can tell we're a Ford dealership, but we never use this channel to actually sell you guys anything. We simply want to provide you good, fun content related to trucks, pickups, custom work, what have you. And we just learned a long time ago that if we can just help enough people, provide enough fun content, that we'll never have to worry about money or selling cars. It's just a natural byproduct of it. So welcome if you're new here. But subscribe to that YouTube channel with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of the videos. If you haven't already done so, make sure you check out the link. I'll have a couple of those videos we talked about down in the description. But most importantly, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the launch of our Bronco Sport giveaway.
Yep.
This lady has worked her butt off trying to get this Bronco Sport.
Yes, I have. Many late days.
I don't realize, I did not realize how much work it is to give away a vehicle.
That's very true.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be as much work as it was, but I think it'll be very, very rewarding. So, and obviously no purchase is necessary and all that fun stuff. But once again, everything's going to be launched on February 1. So make sure you check out our YouTube channel and then also tccustoms.com, which is one of our websites for February 1 on that launch. Enough rambling. I think we're done. Anything else? Any closing comments or questions?
I don't think so. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely, yeah. And so if you enjoyed having her in the videos, make sure that you let us know in the comments down below as well. This is your first YouTube video, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So be nice.
And she's natural. This is the one and only take that we did the whole time through.
I know.
So pretty impressive. If you, she like Jay-Z, dust your shoulders off or something. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video and have a great day.